Hi. So in this video, we're having another reaction of creepy, scary YouTube videos. This one is 5 supernatural mysteries that will scare you to death, apparently, and it has 512,000 views currently, and not one recorded death, Alex. So you should be happy
He's
with
lying. It's a blatant lie. He's lying to us all.
it. Is
Who is it? Who does these videos?
top five. It has like 3.5 million subscribers.
Okay, so clearly he knows what he's doing. Then
Oh,
they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. But yeah, so I don't mind these kind of videos. I like them. I have them on before going to bed. But Alex, you're not a big fan of them.
Nope, I am not. I absolutely fucking hate this shit because I can't sleep and I've got very weak nerves by the sounds of it.
Yeah, very much. Right, so we'll start it now. Let's have some fun. All right.
In recent years, skeptics and scientists have come together to debunk some of the strangest supernatural mysteries that still exist today.
When has that ever happened? When has someone ever held it like that?
And Death Valley's sailing stones now have a logical, scientific explanation. But that cannot be said for everything. And in today's video, we'll be looking at some persisting supernatural mysteries that will scare you to death. So as always, hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. The Gurdon Light. The Gurdon Light is the name of a mysterious ball of light located near railway tracks off Interstate 30 in a wooded area of Gurdon, Arkansas.
Is it not just the train?
The light brings
Just
many
random
curious
trains that
spectators to
like
visit
levitated off the
nature.
floor.
And although the railway tracks have now been partially covered, the mystery continues. According to local legend, the light is a result of one of two ghosts haunting the area. In one story, it's believed that the light is from the lantern of an unidentified railway worker who was killed after falling.
We just respect how much night gear he's got on. Night trainers,
separated body during the
that man is Nike
and was never recovered.
Yeah.
And as a result, his spirit continues to search for it, lantern in hand. The second story is based on real-life events. In 1931, railway foreman Will McLean was killed during a confrontation with one of his co-workers, a man named Louis McBride. What they argued about is unclear. Some versions of the story claim that they fought about the decrease in hours that McBride had been given due to the Great Depression. But most sources state the pair quarreled because McLean believed that McBride had tampered with a section of the tracks, causing a freight train with 14 cars to derail. Although it's widely believed that McBride had been trying to derail a passenger train. During the fight, McLean was reportedly beaten to death.
Wait, pause it for a second.
Body lay in a swampy area of.
Either way,
try and derail a passenger train.
Yeah, either way,
that's just fucked up, man.
Yeah, mate, either way, a train is derailing at some point. What?
It's not like, oh, it was accidental. It was, yeah, sorry, I fucked up. I didn't derail the passenger train. Oopsie, my bad. Like, what is going through this guy's mind?
He tried to do it, and then they discovered he was trying to do it, and beat the shit out of him. So.
But the other guy died, right?
No, it was the guy that tried to derail it died. McLean died.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. That doesn't matter to me now. He's dead. He derailed a train. But like, at what point was he goes, yes?
In 1932. The light is described as either white-blue or sometimes orangish in colour, and always sways back and forth, moving around the horizon. Although it was featured on Unsolved Mysteries in the 1990s, the programme never determined the cause of the glow.
Turns out it's just like a reflective piece of like glass, or it's just the sun.
But it has
a mirror hanging in the tree
before the highway was built.
The flashlight
was reported
who watched the glow follow the train for a mile before disappearing into a nearby graveyard. Others have postulated that the stress on the quartz crystal under the Gurdon caused them to emit electricity and produce the light. Those who have witnessed the light have also reported seeing a bluish mist, voices, shuffling sounds, and feelings of dread.
If you started seeing lights, I would definitely start hearing voices in my head as well.
I wouldn't.
It's just one of those things where
I saw a light.
The Devil's Footprints.
There we go.
Locals around Exe Estuary in South Devon were shocked one morning in February of 1855. At the time, the UK had been subjected to some of its coldest winters yet.
Yeah, I think
throughout the night and previous days, the townspeople had endured heavy snowfall. But this wasn't what surprised
them. A goat?
No, it was like
it was what happened in the snow overnight.
Bipedal, and it was on like the roof
tracks had been left in the snow and reportedly covered an area of between 40 and 100 miles. The prints were 4 inches in length, 5 inches across, and between 8 and 16 inches apart.
That's some big inches.
But instead of moving like, say, a horse would,
that's 3 times the size of your penis.
And then the left leg. These marks, which were believed to have been created by a bipedal creature, went in a single file. Reports of the prints came in from around 30 different locations, and most bizarrely of all, were found in locations such as on top of houses, frozen rivers, high walls, and on drainage pipes. Stranger still, the impressions were said to have gone clear through the snow to the ground, as if they had been branded into it. It wasn't long before fear gripped the locals, dubbed the tracks of Satan or the Devil's Footprints. Due to their
Why does it look like he's clapping?
Some
he's having a great time.
That the devil was wandering around at night.
He's just out for a daily walk. Yeah, he's been let out of lockdown for his one daily week of.
As a result,
he's gone 40 to 100 miles.
There has been much speculation about the origins of the so-called Devil's Footprints. Some investigators believe it was a hoax, while another, author Geoffrey Household, claims that they were the result of an experimental balloon, which had been mistakenly released. Apparently the balloon had...
Do you understand how balloons work?
Which had made the imprints. Although it's curious that it never became stuck on trees or other objects.
And also...
Supposedly, the balloon experiment was kept quiet because it had resulted in the damage of property. Another theory proposed by a reverend claimed it was possibly the result of a kangaroo, which had escaped from a private zoo. However, the reverend later admitted to making this story up as a way to
describe the famous Devon kangaroo attack.
The idea that the devil was walking among them. There is very little direct evidence concerning the Devil's Footprints. Most documentation comes from the findings of a collective of papers.
This looked like someone had an addiction to the letter 3.
Skeptics admit
that
letter 3 can be explained by the likes of donkeys and ponies.
Okay.
Curiously, in 2009, in North Devon, a woman found similar prints in her garden, reigniting the debate all over again. The ongoing mystery of the Devil's Footprints continues.
Going home.
You're already at home, and also this is why the channel's called Happy
Speaking of letters,
one of the most persistent mysteries in recent years is that of George's Bleeding House. The home at the corner of Fountain Drive and Morris Street in southwest Atlanta had been rented by an elderly couple named Minnie and William Winston for over 2 decades. The couple had never once dealt with any supernatural experiences during their time there. That is until 1987. Late one night on September 8th, Minnie, 77 years old at the time, stepped out of her bath to find the floor of the room covered in speckles and droplets of blood. Alarmed and confused, she awoke her husband, 79-year-old William. Neither he nor Minnie bore any injuries, but the spots ranged from the size of a dime to the size of a silver dollar. The blood was found on the floor and lower walls throughout the home, in most of the rooms. It was also found in odd places, such as under the toaster and TV, and in barely accessible crawl spaces. It would be easy to dismiss this as the blood of an animal, but the elderly couple owned no pets, and there was no sign of rodent infestation in their rented accommodation. Local authorities were not immediately alarmed by the report they received from the couple the following morning, as William had a dialysis machine. However, the 79-year-old rejected the notion that he was responsible for all the blood found in the home. When their blood was tested, everyone was stunned. It was not human, not animal, and was blood type O. The couple both had type A blood. There was no evidence in the house that a struggle had taken place, or that a crime had been committed at all. The so-called bleeding house prompted the elderly couple to be called.
Imagine waking up and just finding blood all over the house. And just be like, ah, whose is it? Not mine. Fuck.
In recent years, the idea has been proposed that the couple were visited by an injured person, or possibly even a thief, and perhaps they never heard anything due to their
thief stole nothing, left all his evidence there.
In most of the house and under objects around the home.
He just got there for like
the whole thing was a hoax.
Like a plaster.
Reportedly, the couple did not get on with their adult children.
He just accidentally slit an artery.
That either the couple did it for attention from their children,
he's there like
or the children did it for financial gain. A reporter, who later conducted an interview with Minnie, claimed that she said it must have simply been a mix of rust and water, despite the fact that the police had proved otherwise with their testing. To this day, the case of the bleeding house goes unsolved.
You would say it's just rust and water, wouldn't you, just to keep your mind at ease.
Blood in the property.
Better than knowing there's something being in your house.
Well, true, she's living there. Although, you know, if it never happened again, then...
In November of 1927, Camden, New Jersey was haunted by what is now known as the Phantom Sniper, who would open fire at random and leave behind not a single trace of their existence, not even bullets. The first known instance of the Phantom Sniper was when several cars and buses had their windshields shattered by what was at first thought to be bullets. 5 vehicles in total were damaged. At first, the case seemed pretty straightforward. Someone had shot at the windscreens. However, upon closer inspection, the vehicles turned up no signs of bullet fragments or shell casings. Whatever had been used had simply disappeared. Luckily, during the chaos, no passengers were ever hurt by the bullets, although some suffered injuries from the broken glass. At some point during this initial investigation, a police officer was reportedly shot in the back and was left with massive bruising. Although he had been shot at twice, the first shot had missed him and dented the metal bridge he was walking along. According to some reports, the officer had been hit with a blue marble, which was recovered from the scene. Others, however, claim the marble was thought to belong to a copycat of the so-called Phantom Sniper. Attacks on vehicles in the area continued for the best part of a year,
Did he not just
but no
use the
shooter was ever
slingshot?
found, nor was there any evidence that he or
Depends
she...
how far away they were.
Witnesses never heard gunshots. Authorities often couldn't even locate good vantage points or determine where the shots had come from. The projectiles used to cause the damage were never discovered.
Well, that's a really fancy
At
car
one
back
point,
then.
it was believed that the sniper must have been using something such as a high-powered slingshot or airgun, but no such weapon was known to police at the time.
I'm also saying,
And
I
the
don't think
damage
that
often
weapon was
looked
known
like
to
it came
police
from
either.
bullets. Meanwhile,
You'd probably be able to tell there's a guy walking around in a ghillie suit around upper New York.
it's unknown if this was the work of the Phantom Sniper or another copycat. One story emerged from 2 women who had their bedroom window pierced and shattered at around 4:30 a.m. The victims claimed that a man ran from the scene with great speed, and that he was the same man they'd seen loitering outside of their building earlier that day.
Bit of a weirdo.
In this specific case, a .32 caliber bullet was found, but it couldn't be deduced from where it was fired, or even from what direction it came from. Once again, it's unknown if this was truly the work of the Phantom Sniper or not. The attack stopped suddenly in 1928 and never picked up again. The mystery of the Phantom Sniper remains unsolved.
Number 1, here we go.
The Black Flash.
Okay, I'm still alive though, so...
Town, Massachusetts, became home to one of the most bizarre supernatural stories in the state's history in 1939, when a man-like creature dubbed the Black Flash began to terrorize the town's residents. The first report of the Black Flash came in October of that year, when a group of school children claimed that while walking home from school, an odd-looking creature jumped out from behind the dunes. They described it as 7 feet tall, fast, and dressed in black, and claimed that its laugh followed them all the way home. It also emanated a strange buzzing sound, resembling that of a bee or fly. Then, later that month, a woman named Maria...
I was going to say, Carl, 7 foot tall and follows kids home from school. I was like, I'm surprised they got tiny in there.
I'm sorry, but just like, you just hear like a buzz noise because it's like either flying or like a bee or something. And it's just it going... Bzzz.
just stood behind like a tree, just going.
It's just stood there. But it's also laughing at the same time.
All it was some like just absolute drunkard who thought it was being absolutely hilarious.
Oh god.
Also ran into the strange entity. She had been walking past the town hall when it jumped out at her from behind the bushes. Mary described the black flash much like the boys did, but added that it had blue eyes and silver ears.
I was not expecting that.
Mate, that looks cute. Just put it on
She
the head.
ducked into a nearby coffee
That
shop.
looks cute.
Story
God, dumb as shit.
who set out to track the creature.
That came running at me.
He couldn't
I
find
would
if
shit
I wasn't
myself and run away.
expecting
Like, there's no doubt about that.
Strongly believed that the black flash was simply a
if I wasn't
hoax being
expecting
pulled by
it,
some
I'd
bored
probably
young
kick it.
boys.
But if
But
I
as
saw it
reports
from a
concerning the
mile away
creature
and I knew it
continued to
wasn't
flood in,
dangerous,
and the townspeople
Don't
grew
let any of your
concerned.
pets near Cam by the sounds of it without him being aware.
Strangely, while reports were coming in from
Probably.
different parts of the town, several
That
incidents.
looks like someone's table's just grown.
why does that
Soon
look
the
like
Black
you
Flash
doing the
became
crab?
a well-known name in the town. It was also dubbed the Bolt, the Provincetown Phantom, and the Devil of the Dunes. As time went on, the stories about the creature grew.
I don't know whether it's like its arms are
Now it
crossed
was
as
no
well.
longer simply scaring the locals, but was instead starting to attack them. One teenager claimed that the creature could spew blue flames. According to one story, several men had managed to corner it, but it managed to leap the 10-foot fence and bullets did not pierce it.
Why does it sound like Spring Heel
One man
Jack?
claimed that he shot it, point blank with a shotgun, but it simply laughed in his face. The creature had become a symbol of terror in the town and was later blamed for a string of fires, which caused $250,000 in
The
property.
arsonist laughing, getting away with
The
it.
last
Being
Yeah.
like, I set those
the Black
fires, but they just
Flash
blamed it on some supernatural thing.
spotted it coming towards them in the fog. They ran home, locked the door, and were terrified when they heard it attempting to get into the house. One of the children had the idea to throw hot water on it, so they boiled the kettle, ran up the stairs, and poured the boiling water onto the creature from the second story of the house. Subsequently, the creature retreated and was never seen again.
Turns out the vicar comes into the church the next day with scald marks all over his body. Where'd you get them? Oh, the bath was too hot.
There have been many theories about what exactly the Black Flash was. Some have wondered if it was an athlete, while others at the time claimed that it was a gay man. Since it was the 1930s, alternative lifestyles were less widely accepted.
They claimed it was a what?
A gay man. Because apparently being gay makes you 7 foot tall and able to jump 10 feet high. Like, what?
And breathe blue flames. Oh.
In the Western world they are now. Many believe the creature
Yes, that is exactly what gay men are. Like, what?
In the modern era, the Black Flash has been compared to Britain's own Spring-Heeled Jack,
Told
who
you.
wore a black cloak, had a silver face and red eyes, and who was capable of breathing blue flames and making high jumps. The Black Flash never returned to Provincetown and essentially fell off the map after its escape from the children who threw boiling water on it. Whether it was a hoax, hysteria, or something more
All
sinister,
I'm hearing here is
the legacy
that
of
they've
the
tried
Black
to shoot
Flash
it,
is a chilling one nonetheless.
like corner it,
So that's
arrest
why
it.
supernatural
Kids with a bit of hot
and we are
water
sure will keep you up tonight.
does the job.
Thanks for watching.
Never
always,
mess with the
we'll
kids
see
with
you
the
here
hot water.
tomorrow for another creepy video.
Like, what's your natural reaction? Like, oh, wait, there's someone trying to get in the house. Do we hide? No, let me just boil the kettle. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. That has been what can only be classed as... I don't even know how to describe that. Interesting, to say the least. But we're still alive, so...
And it wasn't... for me, it wasn't scary.
I've shat myself 3 times, mate. I don't know about you. Like, I'm petrified. Mate, if some 7-foot bloke came running after me, holy shit.
Mate,
I'd be out of there quicker than you could say, Jesus Christ, that's a 7-foot bloke following me.
Mate, that's what I've got to deal with when we go for jogs. You running behind me, bloody petrified.
I'm never behind you.
Oh, no.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. You know the deal. And Have a lovely day.
If you have any videos that you'd like us to look at, watch, react to, let us know in the comments below. Alex, do you have any other words you want to say?
Abacus.